What's going on, guys? Victor here from Dexter Outdoors. In today's fillet video, we got this beautiful, rather large kingfish. I'm going to show you guys how to fillet up. A lot of people shy away from kingfish this size, but a kingfish this size, eaten fresh, is delicious. And if you extend the shelf life of it, you can make it into something like a fish dip or fish chowder. So let's get started. What I like to do with these bigger fish, this is an 8-inch sport fishing knife. I'm gonna have it linked below for you guys. I really like this knife for these bigger fish. So right here behind the head, we're gonna get all that head meat, go around that pectoral fin, down to the belly. Now, we're just gonna take the tip of our knife and we're simply gonna outline our kingfish. So I'm just real superficially, you're just marking them out. You're setting yourself up for success with this. All the way to the tail. And you take your time. It's a big fish. You want to get as much of that yield as possible. I'm going to make a little cut right here. Now what I like to do, especially with this knife, is take that sport fish knife, rest it on the fish's spine, and then I can feel that I'm on the fish's spine and bone, and I just work my way up. Just one nice solid motion. Okay? And I'm just going to repeat this process until I get to a sticking point, which is going to be the fish's backbone. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel like your knife can't go anymore. And that's going to be that fish's backbone. Okay, we're doing beautifully. Now what I like to do is, with these bigger fish, it's sometimes best to approach them from two sides. Same thing with the wahoo, because it's just a lot of meat to work with. So we're going to go right here by the throat, work our way up, or work our way down towards the tail. And when I get to this anal fin right here, I'm making sure that my knife is resting on the fish's spine once again. So I want to feel the bone and I want to feel my knife in contact with it at all times. Okay? On the fish's spine once again. All the way to the backbone. You guys can hear the knife gliding on it. Now, what you've essentially done is you've freed up your fish from both sides. So now what you should be able to do is run your knife from the tail all the way towards the head, making sure I'm on the backbone, separating it at the backbone, cut right there through the pin bones. Now watch this. You're going to be able to just slide this perfectly. And don't be worried if you see stuff like this. Kingfish is a pretty mushy meat. It's not very firm, especially when they get to this size. So we're gonna sit this guy in the cooler, and while I have this kingfish open, I'm gonna show you guys something cool. This is actually female, and this right here is all roe. This is all kingfish roe. And since we have the gut cavity exposed, I'm just gonna get rid of this stuff that way, and I'm just gonna clean up the guts a little bit, that way we don't get any of it in our fillet. And then now what I like to do is I like to just rest my knife on the fish's spine once again. Just kind of work my way down. And I definitely do not recommend filleting these fish after they've been in the cooler for a long time. You want to get to them relatively fast after you catch them, because the meat will just get mushy on you, and especially the bigger the kingfish, the mushier it'll get and the harder it's going to be to fillet. So once again, we're just separating until we get to the fish's backbone, which you guys can hear my knife running along. Okay, we're going to flip them around again. Right here. Make that tail cut, get your knife on the fish's spine once again, and just work your way up. Okay. Now, just like we did before, flip them over here for you guys. Get your knife on that fish's backbone and watch this. You just work all the way up, making sure everything's separated, and voila, there's the other half of your kingfish. And see, this kingfish has only been in the cooler for 1 day and no water, and you guys can already see how it's getting kind of mushy. Highly recommend filleting these fish that first day you catch them, leave them in the cooler for a little bit, and then get to them, because they just get real soft real fast. And that's why people avoid these bigger fish. The little ones are great. The bigger they get, you guys will see how that meat gets kind of gray. They just get real mushy and a little bit gamey. So we're going to dispose of this carcass, but you guys take a look at it. Left hardly nothing on there. Okay. The catfish are going to have a good feeding time right now. Now, all you'd have left to do with this fish is to skin it. I'm actually going to leave the skin on because my buddy is going to make a lot of fish dip out of it and he likes it with the skin on. But what I'm going to just show you guys for demonstration purposes. Another thing is kingfish, wahoo have really thin skin. So what I like to do when I skin these fish is I like to break it down into smaller sections. So let's say like this. We'll do a tail chunk like that. And when you go to skin your fish, it'll be much easier to work with a smaller piece. Get your knife right there. And also, with these thin skinned fish, leave a real small layer of meat on this skin, and you will greatly reduce the likelihood of piercing through the skin. You guys see I left a very thin layer on there, because nothing's worse than piercing through the skin and then you gotta do it all over again. And that's it. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, these big kingfish, great on the smoker. If eaten fresh, they're also good on the grill. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.